You have probably seen the headlines as well. Now, Spain has become the top #1 country in Europe for real estate investment. According to a fresh new study that just came out, Spain is now on the top #1 list to buy real estate investment. So if you are watching this video right now, the chances for you considering buying a property in Spain are quite big. And I'm here to tell you today how to buy your first investment property. So whether you are looking to flip a property or buy a rental property, I'm going to tell you how to do it, what to do, what to look for, what to look out for, and of course, how to make money with it. So without any further ado, let's jump right into step number one. Step number one is to define your objective. So you might be in a situation right now where you have invested in property in your home country, because most of my viewers are international people from abroad. So you have maybe some experience with real estate in your own home country. Maybe you have flipped a few properties. Maybe you have built a rental portfolio. But for whatever reason, you are now looking into investing in Spain. A lot of new tax laws have become in other countries. I know it's not the most tax efficiency investing in many other European countries, but Spain is still great for real estate investment, considering the returns and the strategies you can apply to investing in property here. And of course, living in the sun, living in a very beautiful country with lots of benefit. And if you as well can invest in properties, can't get much better than that. So for step number one, define your objective, which is, should you buy a flip property to flip it, or should you buy a rental property? Because that's a very big difference on the strategy. Before even looking at properties, you should consider if you're going to flip it, you're going to renovate it, upgrade it, and then sell it within a few months, or if you're going to buy it, upgrade it most likely, and then rent it out and cash in on that Airbnb short-term rental strategy. You've probably seen the news as well. Many people are cashing in from short-term rentals in Spain. If you're considering that, that's a very good strategy. Just make sure to check on the local regulation, because it's getting strict in some places, not in all places. Many places you can still cash in on that strategy, but some places are getting a bit more stricter. So keep that in mind. However, if you're going to flip or you're going to rent it out, that's a very big decision and a big difference, because a rental property is not the same as a flipping property. It's two different strategies, two different properties. And a flip is more like a short-term profit. You're considering more cash growth, capital growth, quick cash, because you buy it, renovate it, sell it within a few months or maybe a year, and you cash in on that profit. A rental property, on the other hand, it's something you buy and you hold. Whether you rent it out for long term or you're renting it out for short term, it's still a long-term investment, because rental property is cash flow every month, flip is quick cash. So the property look different. What you're looking for in a flip is not the same characteristic you're looking in for a rental property. So before even looking at properties, make sure to have a proper plan, and make sure to not try to do both. I had seen people before, they buy a property and they don't know what to do with it. They don't have a plan. They hold the property for a month before even starting to renovate it, because they didn't have a plan. They failed to make a plan from the beginning. So they have it and then they start to plan. In this business, time is money. So consider to have a plan before buying the property, before looking at the property, and then you can get right into it. Step number two, treat real estate as a business. Because it is. Real estate investing is a business. It's not a hobby. I know a lot of people are maybe picking up a rental property and have it as a side hustle. Maybe they are combining it with a holiday home, so when they're not there, they casually rent it out. And that's fine in some ways, but if you're actually going to make it big into real estate, you have to treat it like a business. Because it is a big investment. You are doing upgrades, you need to have strategy in place. You need to know what to do and how to do it. So you need to also consider stuff like who is your buyer or who is your tenant, who is your ideal client before buying the property. So you need to have an actual business plan written down is what I prefer, because when you write it, or at least for me, when I write a business plan, I kind of remember it and see it in a different way than if I just think it. So I make a proper business plan, like somebody would have like a business company. You know, they have a yearly business plan, stuff like that. I do that with property, with each project. So when I buy a property, I write down a full page business plan. Who is my ideal client, what I will do with the property, how I will renovate it, what style I will go for, interior, what budget I have, keep to the budget, keep to the time frame. Will I rent it out? Is it short-term rental or long-term rental? Will I flip it? How many months will the renovation take? What's the budget? What's the selling price? You need to have an exit plan before you even buy the property. So when I buy a property, when will I sell it? Even if I rent it out, I plan, will I keep it for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or is it something I just want to hold forever? If I'm flipping, I'm thinking, you know, will I sell it within 6 months, 4 months, 1 year? It all depends on the projects, of course. And so the exit strategy is quite important. And you should know how you're going to exit before you even buy the property. And then you need to look at stuff like financing. How are you going to buy it? Will you take a mortgage? Will you have a loan on it? Private investors? Will you use your own capital to fund the whole deal? Or what is your plan for financing the property? That's, of course, it's very important. I think I do recommend taking some loans or mortgage if you can, and to not go all capital, because if you use your own capital, that's good. Let's say you can buy one property, you have saved up, let's say 150k, and you want to buy a property for it, including the renovation. You can do that, or you can take a loan and buy 2 or 3 properties. And the profit is still, you know, going to be almost the same. You just pay a little bit of interest and, of course, expenses associated with the financing. But you will make more money taking a mortgage or financing 3 properties than having 1 property completely with your own capital. Something to keep in mind. That's something about the strategy. And of course, if you want to build a proper business strategy when it comes to real estate, and you want to really see how the pros are doing it, you can download my free guide, which I have created. It's specifically about how to invest in the Spanish property market and how to create financial freedom by investing in properties in Spain. When I moved to Spain a decade ago, I came here with no connections, no money, and absolutely zero experience with property. And today I'm living on property full time, having my own companies. And now I'm going full circle, teaching others how to do the same. So it's completely free to download. The Investor's Edge is the name of this ebook. Click the link in the description down below. Or if you want to schedule a free consultation call with me to get tailored advice based on your specific situation, feel free to click the other link in the description and schedule a free consultation call today. Step number 3 is to learn the market. So before I bought my first investment property here in Spain, this is now a decade ago, I was looking at maybe around 100 properties before I bought my first investment property. Because I remember I was seeing some video online, or I read somewhere that that was recommended, so that's what I did. And now, 10 years later, I see why that is so important. Especially if it's your first investment property in Spain. You have never bought in Spain before. You don't understand the market and the market dynamic specifically in Spain. Because keep in mind, short-term rental, for example, or flipping and selling properties for holiday home buyers in Spain might be very different than flipping a property in a big city in London, Oslo, Stockholm, or whatever city you might be at. So you need to very adapt to this market. That's why I recommend looking at least 100 properties before you pull the trigger and buy your first property. And that's how you can start to compare properties, compare prices, understand the areas, and see what actually sells. The first deal you see is almost never the best deal, so keep that in mind. You will look at many properties along the way, and sometimes you will buy it, sometimes you won't, but at least when you have looked at 100 properties, then you will for sure see what property stands out and what property might worth investing into. And if you work with real estate, that is definitely a big bonus, because you see so many properties all the time. Like me back in the days, when I first started investing in real estate, I was also working as a listing agent. So I saw properties every day. I went to clients' home listing properties. Every week I listed new properties, and I visited clients several times a day to give them valuation and stuff like that. So that really gave me that market knowledge about the prices, what sells, what doesn't sell, what stick around for a long time, because you have to consider stuff like orientation, how big is the balcony, what's the views, what's the location, and then you have micro location inside a good location, because one street and on the other side of the street, that property might have a completely different price than the other side of the street. In Spain, there's not a square meter price. It's all about the knowledge about the property and about the market. So definitely remember step number 3, learn the market and learn it good. Step number 4, and this is probably the most important step of them all, is understand the deal. Because when you understand the deals and see what sells and what do not sell, then that's probably the most important factor, because if you don't have a deal, you don't have a business. So you need to identify what property and what characteristic really is that's going to sell or cash in when you're renting it out. Because one type of property is not the same as another type of property, as I was mentioning in the last section. And when I think about it now, considering all the properties that I've been looking at and all the properties that are listed on the market and for sale in this exact moment, maybe just 20% of those properties are good investment properties, are actually good deals, or maybe even less. So considering that, it's take some time to find a good property, but once you understand what sells and what deal is the best investment property, then you can start to look for exactly that. So you have, of course, stuff like location. Everyone says that in real estate: location, location, location. It took me years before I actually understand what it truly means, because you think in one city, okay, one city is one location, but you have to see in what exact street and area and walking distance to stuff and everything like that, right? So location, and then you have to see at stuff like the price versus market price. Do you want to buy a property for a market price, or would you prefer to buy undervalued properties for less than market price? It's quite obvious that you want to buy properties for under market price. I normally aim for 20 to 30% below market value, and then I upgrade the property, and then the profit, that's how I make the profit, right? But none of that happens if you don't find the deals and don't know what to look for. And how to find the best deals? It's going to be normally through network. Off-market deals are normally the best deals. The properties I buy is not normally listed on the open market. It's through network. To get good financing, you need to have a good network, to have the best real estate agent. To renovate the property for a good price, everything is about network. You're not going to do real estate solo. Real estate is not a one-man business. You can't do everything yourself. You need a big network and you need a good deal. So that's always important. Step number 5, this is where most people actually get stuck. So this is a crucial point when you have done all the 4 steps so far. Now we are at the 5th step. Without this, you don't get anything done. Step number 5 is pulling the trigger. So now you have done all the research, you have seen many properties, financing in order, you know how to identify a good deal. Now the last step is to actually pull the trigger. Because it's very easy to get analysis paralysis, because real estate, it's a big investment, right? Some people might spend their life saving on it, and it's actually the most expensive investment, most people do throughout their lifetime. They don't buy anything more expensive than property. So, pulling the trigger is of course quite scary. It feels risky. Analysis paralysis is a real factor. So you need to understand that once you have done all the research and you find the deal, you need to pull the trigger and you need to pull it fast. Don't rush if you are unsure, because of course this video is for educational purpose. And you need to understand that if you buy the property, it always comes with the risk. But what I'm saying is that when you identify the property, pulling the trigger is very important, and do it fast, because a good investment property, undervalued property in the right location with the right characteristic, won't stick around for a long time. I've seen a property when I pick up a rental property, or I'm going to flip a good property which is undervalued and have all the right characteristic. Once I get that property sent to me by my network, if I don't pull the trigger that very same day, the next day it's gone. You can't think about this for a week, for days. Maybe I need to speak with a bank, financing, then the best properties will be long gone before you pull the trigger. So keep that in mind. And that reminds me of the last property I bought. It was actually sent to me by one of my network contacts, sent it over to me. And they said to me, you have 1 hour to decide, because otherwise other people will get it. And I took it, I bought it. And once I was signing the reservation, they were already getting lots of other offers on that property, because investors looking to capitalize on property just like you, it's many of them. And keep in mind, they are not holiday home buyers. They are investors. They are aggressive, putting in offers, doing whatever they can to get that same very property that you want to buy as well. Because what other people see is the same as you see when you look at that property, and that's money. So of course other people want that same one. But if you are starting to understand how to spot opportunities that other investors overlook, that's when you really are starting to getting an edge. And that is what I can teach you or consult you with the free consultation call. That's also what I learn in and teach you in the free ebook that I've written. You can download it in the description below, because once you understand what the properties other investors overlook, then you can start to buy properties no one is even looking at. And then you have almost a free market. Because I remember a few of the properties I've been buying. I have a lot of friends in real estate. It's a big real estate market here in Spain on the Costa Blanca. And I remember some of them told me when I bought specifically one property I'm thinking of. And they said like, why did you buy that property? It seems like not very obvious choice. And some were even saying like, oh, are you sure? It seems like a risky one. And for me, it was a clear investment on it. And I made almost 40% profit on that property, selling it in a few months. So of course, spotting opportunities that other people overlook is a key factor. And that's about it. If you came this far to the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel to get more investment tips about how to buy property in Spain, how to invest, how to make money with it, and what to look for in the deals. It's all about investing in the Spanish property market. Make sure to subscribe, hit the video a thumbs up if you are enjoying the channel, enjoying videos like this. And also make sure to download the free ebook in the description down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.